This isn't me telling you how to practice. This is me giving you suggestions, and a start point. Where you take it is completely up to you.
Hey everybody, the Normal Wiccan here. Today we are going to cover the exciting world of ethics. Most people don't consider it that interesting, but just like with driving or anything else in the world, before you actually start something, you really need to know the rules behind it and the practices of it and how to do it. And this is the reason why we go into ethics pretty in depth. I did so with my previous coven. This is the exact same class. When most people think of ethics in regards to the Wiccan tradition, they think of the Wiccan Rede. So, by the Wiccan law, ye must, in perfect love and in perfect trust. 8 words the Wiccan Rede fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will. And ever mind the rule of 3, what ye send out comes back to thee. Follow this with mind and heart, and merry ye meet, and merry ye part. You would think that's really simple. Especially being the fact that the one that you really need to listen to, I mean, you have to listen to all of it, but the one that is the main guideline is, and harm ye none, do as ye will. Which means you can do whatever you want in life as long as you're not hurting anyone. There's a couple of problems with that statement, and that is, as we know with the Bible, the Quran, any other religious text, is perception or interpretation for that matter. We have, everybody has seen people that misuse the Bible, misquote the Bible, use the Bible and the Quran and pretty much every religious text to do horrid things because this one line says to. It doesn't matter what it says above or below that line, this one line says to do it, so you can. Good example of that is these people who go around with the tattoo. Man should not lay with a man is an abomination before God. However, the next paragraph states that one should not mark one's own body, for it is a temple of God. But they got a tattoo with it because, yeah, misinterpretation. That's what the part they liked. So that's the part they grabbed onto because other people are wrong. Um, so pretty much, and ye harm none, do what ye will. That means you can do whatever you want as long as it's not hurting anyone. So that's self-explanatory, right? Mm. Um, I have seen people justify stealing, lying, cheating, doing drugs because they're not harming anyone, and all of those things are not okay. Um, Stealing, oh, I stole from a major corporation. No one's gonna miss it, and it's not gonna hurt anyone. No, because do you think that corporation is really going to eat the loss on that? You think they're not going to get their profits? No, they're going to raise the prices for everybody else. And because you wanted an Xbox that you couldn't pay for, this lady over here can no longer afford the formula or diapers for their kids. Um, don't do it. And if you steal from a person, obviously they're going to miss that. You steal from a small grocery store. Well, that small grocery store owner is using the profits from his grocery to pay for his kids, pay for his house, and now he doesn't have part of that, and that could affect him and his family. And what you send out comes back to you times 3. Lying. Whenever you tell a lie, you always have to assume that that person is going to find out. When that person finds out, is it going to hurt them? Because I hate to tell you this, people always find out. It's just the way it works. People always find out. And yes, it's probably if you know it's going to hurt them, don't do it. It's better to be honest and hurt that person's feeling than to lie to them. And down the road, not only what you did will they find out, but you didn't trust them enough to tell them the truth. Cheating, exact same thing as lying, except with more consequences because your act of cheating could bring other consequences upon the person you're with. Children, diseases, pestilence, not to mention just estrangement and a damaging of your own relationship because you're holding that in and keeping it from them. Always a bad idea. Now, understand that if you have that type of relationship, if you are in that type of relationship where you both agreed, one or both people in the relationship can date other people, have open relationships, stuff like that, then that's fine. As long as you're honest about it. As long as you both agree on it. Not just her agreeing because, otherwise I'll lose him. No, both honestly agreeing on it. And pressuring someone into that situation if they're not comfortable with it is also not cool. Okay, another thing, doing drugs. That is another no-no. Oh, but I'm not hurting anyone else. Okay, but you're still hurting someone. You're still hurting yourself. And let's be completely honest, an excess of anything hurts people. Drugs, alcohol, tobacco, too much fried foods, for God's sakes, hurts people. So, no, that's not okay. I do realize that everybody's opinion is, I'm just hurting myself, that's okay. No, it's not. And when I say drugs, I'm not talking about marijuana. I'm talking about this person's hooked on heroin, this person's hooked on cocaine, things that actually damage your life. Now, the funny thing about it is with marijuana, and this is my opinion, but the main part of it that damages your life is getting caught with it. So, yeah. I'm not going to say I endorse it. However, I do know many people in the veteran community that use it as in place of antidepressants, use it in place of other pills that are physically detrimental to them because marijuana is not. But again, I'm not saying I endorse it, but I'm also not saying that I condemn people for it. It's your life. Live it the way you want. Okay. Okay, so that's really it when it comes to the Wiccan read. Do what you want, harm none. The law of three, marry, meet, marry, part. Now, that is relatively uncomplicated. If you're hurting anyone, including yourself, you're breaking the reed. Period. And with Wicca, there is no fiery pit of despair that you're going to be thrown into. No, it just comes back to you times 3, because when you do something to someone else, you aren't necessarily just hurting them. You could be hurting their family, you could be hurting their loved ones, you could be hurting their business, the people that rely on them, and all of that you sent out comes back to you. And that's not even a matter of religion. That's Albert Einstein's cause and effect. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Well, you have an effect on a person, good or bad, and that affects other people besides that person. All of that effect comes back to you like a swinging ball. Now, again, that also counts for good deeds as well. Do they cancel each other out? No. You will atone one way or another for your actions, good and bad. So, generally, us Wiccans try and make the good part of it, because the bad comes, and it comes at the worst time. So first, and how does this apply to magic? How does this apply to using your energy, using magic? That's a good question, and we're going to go ahead and cover that. So the first thing is, never use magic to force someone to do something against their will. The best way that I can express this is holding someone against their will is battery. Raping, having sex with someone against their will is rape. Taking someone against someone's will is stealing. It's the same basic thing with magic. You know, holding someone against their will is wrong. Using a spell to sleep with someone is wrong. You know, anything that is wrong to do physically is wrong to do magically. Now, there are different ways to approach this. You could say in a spell, I want this person to go away. Well, technically, that's forcing someone to do something against their will. However, whatever it is they bring to your life, so say they bring negativity to your life, say they bring discord and stress to your life, you can do spells to get rid of those things from your life instead of, I want this person to go away. Because if that's all that person brings to your life, they're going to go away when you just try and get rid of that stress, that negativity, that discord. So just because you can't cast on this person doesn't mean you can't try and get rid of what that person brings to your life. What is generally wrong to do physically is wrong to do magically as well. You don't harm. Wiccans don't harm people. They don't cause disease. They don't kill people. They don't force someone to love them. They don't force someone to sleep with them. All of those things are huge no-nos because, once again, taking away someone's free will. Next thing, and this one's also kind of ties into the other ones. You do not cast on someone without their permission. You do not cast spells for them without their permission. So, if your grandmother is in the hospital, and trust me guys, I've been in these situations, and I know how hard this is. Your grandmother's lying in the hospital dying, or, your significant other, even one of your kids, is lying in the hospital dying. Well, kids are different, but I'll get into that later. If you don't have their permission to cast, don't. You can't. Because once again, you can ask them, is it okay if I cast a spell for you, if I pray for you, if I use my energy and hopes, what is it? The hopes and prayers. And they say, yes, okay, you're good. Absolutely help that person out. If they say, no, I don't want you casting on me, then you're stuck. Now, mind you, it sounds kind of strange saying you can't force someone to get better against their will. But that's what it comes out to. You can't protect someone against their will. That's what it works out to. You're forcing someone into something against their will. And once again, we can't do that. So, a couple of things. Now, again, those three things pretty much are the same thing, but at the same time, not. They're very specific. But saying that there are these things that you cannot do, is a world of things you can do. For instance, you can eat what you want, you can sleep with who you want, you can practice what religion you want, you can live your life the way you want, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. And don't get me wrong, okay, I've had someone come up to me and go, well, if I work harder and I get this promotion over the other person, then that's hurting them. No, it's not. You earned it. It's not the same thing. If you earn something, if, for instance, you work harder, you deserve something, and you get that something, then yes, you deserve that. That's not hurting another person. They should have worked as hard or harder and gone forth and achieved that. And they still can down the road. let's cover another thing as well. Casting for self gain. Um, the whole piety of the Christian religions has leaked into some pagan beliefs and pagan religions that, oh no, you can't cast for self gain. You must be selfless. No, no, that's not how that works at all. The better off you are, the more that you can help others. When I was a in charge of a coven, I was making 25 $30 an hour as a carpenter, and I used that to help out my coven. I was the head of a coven of a bunch of young adults, 18, 19, 20, 21, who were not established in their life, didn't have steady jobs, things along that lines. I took them out. I helped them get their first ritual tools, um, and supplied rides, and we had parties and stuff like that on my dime because I could supply that for them, and that helped them out. Now, there's nothing wrong with me casting a spell, lighting my green candles, lighting my patchouli incense, using my runes to better my situation so I can help out others. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, understand, if you're hoarding wealth. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being wealthy. I'm not going to cast a stone at other people saying, "Oh, you have too much money." Because there's nothing wrong with being wealthy, but at the same time, part of life is not only receiving but giving back. And that is something that we as pagans like to practice. At least I would hope so. Okay. Another thing to think as well. A very Christian statement is God helps those who help themselves, which is very, very true. It's pretty much the same thing with paganism. You can light that green candle. You can light your patchouli incense. You can use your runes. But if you don't go out and look for a job, it's not going to work. Along with your energy, along with your spells, there has to be action. If you cast that spell to bring your true love into your life that you've been dying for, and you don't leave your house, chances are that's not going to work. Now, granted, that statement is a little bit less valid now than it was 10 years ago, because many people meet over the internet. But still, if you're not trying to meet people, and you're casting all of these spells to bring love to your life and bring companionship, and you're not trying to meet people, you're throwing money at the wind, hoping to get something back. You have to accompany your intentions with the physical effort as well. It's not just, I'm going to cast a spell and my house is going to be clean. God knows I wish I knew that spell, because I have 6 children. It would have been very, very nice when they were young and they all lived with me to be able to just wave a magic wand and my house is clean. But that's not how it works. You have to accompany your energy and your efforts and your intentions with physical action. Okay, so you will hear a lot of things throughout. The more you get into the pagan community, you'll hear more and more things. You will hear pagans, at least I have heard pagans tell me that eating meat is breaking the reed because you're harming a creature. Not the way I look at it. We are carnivorous animals. We're omnivores, which means we eat animals as well as eat plants. Going out and killing for sport, I totally agree. That is wrong. You're killing something. You're not eating it. You're not utilizing its life, you're just snuffing out its life for no reason whatsoever. I agree. That is wrong. However, eating meat as nature intended us to, I do not believe is wrong. Once again, my opinion on this. But we were made to be omnivores. Can we survive off of a vegetarian diet? Some people can do it. I personally have had no luck at doing it whatsoever. I do not believe that's the way nature intended us to be. So no, I don't believe it's breaking the reed, being what nature intended us to be. Killing bugs. If you kill a spider in your house, that's on you. If you believe that, this is your area, spiders shouldn't be in there, and you're somehow protecting yourself by killing spiders, then do so. If you have someone like myself who's highly allergic to spiders, then do so. I still don't kill spiders. I take them outside. But that's just me. My wife will grab a broom anytime she sees a spider. I will tell you that much. So again, that's on you and what you believe. Another gray area, or what people consider gray area that I do not when it comes to the Wiccan read, is protecting oneself and protecting one's family. I've had many people ask, well, how do you reconcile that? Because I am former military. Well, how do you reconcile that? Protecting oneself, protecting one's family, and harming someone else in doing so. I will be 100% honest. At that point, if someone is trying to harm you, you are not harming that person. You are stopping them from harming others. You are stopping someone with the intent to harm from doing so. If they get injured in the process, well, that's sad, but they shouldn't have been trying to harm other people. Now, if someone is, threatening you, do you pull out a gun and shoot them in the face? No. You want to diffuse the situation or stop them with the least amount of violence possible. If you could just, I'm going to call the cops, and they run away, then that's what you do. If you think that you should apprehend them so they don't do this again, and you struggle with them and they get injured, okay, that's what you do. If someone's trying to break into your car, do you pull out a gun and shoot them, stab them, whatever? No, because that was not necessary. So again, protecting yourself, protecting your loved ones, protecting your personal property is allowable within reason. You use as little effort as necessary to do so. Not as little effort, but as little force as necessary to do so. Now the next one is, and I've had this question, and I don't really think that this requires an explanation. Because like many things with the Wiccan religion, it's on you. Us as priests, as priestesses, as clergy, it's not our job to judge you. It's not our job to condemn you. That's between you and karma and your own soul and heart. Us as clergy, our job is, okay, this happened. How do we fix it? How can I help you fix this issue? And that is our job as clergy. Now, but the one question I've always asked, because I deal with a lot of young people, is, well, I'm living in my mother's house. And if I tell her I'm Wiccan, I'll probably be kicked out. Or, I'll be disowned. Or, name some other ridiculous recourse for practicing the religion that you believe in. Here. So I don't tell my mother. I tell my mother I'm still Christian, or I tell my mother this, or I tell my father this, or I just evade the entire conversation. Yeah, I'll go to church, next Christmas. Go away. That's on you. Literally I had it phrased to me as I am denying my belief, the God and Goddess. What type of karmic retribution do you think that will carry? And to be 100% honest, that's on you. If it's a matter of survival and where you live and everything like that, I think you're fine. But again, this is my opinion. I don't have the karmic rule book in my hand to tell you, oh, well, this will get you this. But at the same time, if you're just, pretending to be Christian to fit in because you don't want to deal with the flack, I don't know. Again, what do you think? How much does that weigh on your heart? That you would be dishonest to those around you, again, lying, just because you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to answer the questions. You don't want to have the side looks, the people not they're not Christian, because I'll be honest, I don't trust a lot of Christians. I've been lied to and treated badly by more Christians than I have pagans, but that's just me. So again, that's for you to decide. Okay, so we are done with the ethics class. Hooray, you're done. Refer back to this at any point in time if you have any questions. If you ever have a question, get into a sticky situation, or, hey, I don't know. And actually, one other thing before we go. I do want to make abundantly clear. Do not cast love spells on a specific person. If you want to cast a love spell to bring love into your life, that's great. You want to bring positivity, joy, prosperity into your life, that's great. Don't cast on a specific person. I mean, I can't stress this enough. I need to say this again. I don't want someone coming back and saying, well, you didn't specifically cover this. Don't do it. Don't cast on a specific person. But you can cast to bring stuff to you. Not that person, but love, happiness, financial security, protection, fertility, all of those things. Just don't cast on that person. Okay, so that being said, don't cast on that person. That being said, once again, I'm the Normal Wiccan. Thank you for watching. Enjoy, and you guys stay safe, stay healthy during this time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Also, you can donate to my Patreon. All Patreon donations will go towards delivering you new and more interesting content. One last thing, if you had any questions about the content of this video, do not forget to ask those questions in the comments. I will do my absolute best to get back to you in a timely manner, and you, as always, have a great day and blessed be.